before that, so many guest rooms we have tried.
Yeah, I think we should speak about some of
God,
some
those
of these
guest
things
rooms,
which
you know,
we just
certain-
don't manage to crack.
Certain things don't work.
They
And
don't-
that
yeah.
guest house is just not working. Even now,
not
it's not
working.
working.
It's looking the best of the lot.
Okay.
That's all.
That
But
is.
I think we should. Some of these we should capture because when we struggle with.
Okay, I can tell you about that
When
stupid
you
green
say
furniture.
now later, but
That
yeah.
stupid green furniture,
Yeah,
that piece
he's
which is.
like, I gave it off for free to a cousin. in
Yeah,
Chennai.
better. I mean, we can bitch about him at this moment.
Yeah,
He
we
came
should-
up with
we
that
should-
idea, and I also didn't like it, and he kind of did it. And you also didn't fight hard enough, fight back hard
I couldn't
enough.
make up my mind. Actually, that's definitely a worthwhile story. If we don't cover it enough now, you should
You
probe us.
ask Neil, and he will still say, "Come on, it was so nice."
Penguin, then fish, and what all he came up with. I tried quite hard to like it because I kept trying to convince myself that it was really innovative. And when you hear me tell that story to friends, it's as if I came up with the whole goddamn idea, because I'm trying to sell
And
it
I'm
so
like,
hard even to
what
myself.
the hell is he trying to do? And I couldn't come up with anything else in that whatever flow of things and सब कुछ हो रहा है जल्दी जल्दी अच्छा ठीक है अब इसको बनने दो we are working on so many other projects अच्छा ठीक है अब चलने दो.
I think the bloopers or some such equivalent, find a better name. The same as the bloopers. But I think you should have a section.
This is a design, this is definitely a design blooper for sure.
So you'll find these green furniture in one of the...
Can you describe it a little bit?
One which is couch, which is lying
Okay.
in the ground.
They were horrible,
parts.
which were
There was
heavy.
a penguin chair and a king penguin chair and a slave penguin chair. And I'm supposed to sit in the king penguin chair. And then there were benches. So you'll find the pictures of the entire
Oh my
set in
God.
one of the water.
I mean, they look fine in the picture, but they were
But
totally
you would sit
useless.
there,
That's true.
they would shake, you don't know what to fall when. And for some strange reason, a cousin of mine in Chennai, he likes
liked
them
it.
and he got them for free, so he spent a truck, whatever, to
My
take it from here to
God.
Chennai, and I was very happy to. Except this one is still the couch below.
Below,
sorry,
huh.
is still okay, as
Okay,
it is stable.
manageable. Yeah.
So one day, one of these very heavy.
Yeah, that
apartments
things
came
were
in.
also falling. No, even the backrests were breaking.
Yeah.
It was like
So-
really.
No, so the way the story would get, I would tell the story is, oh, see, this house is so much wood. I don't know, Neil, I think, gave me that storyline. So much wood and so much leftover wood and, all, whatever, we didn't want to waste it, so उसको MDF बनाया. फिर उसमें, the car paint लगाया. It's very rare to put car paint. You don't get these colors. Neil ने ही कहा था मुझे ये सब.
He must
So I
have
used
told all
to-
this to you and you were,
I
oh
used
my
to
God.
page this on everybody and feel very noble in the process. They'd all look at me and kind of say, it used to be this color, it is this
Yeah.
color, broadly, and black. Yeah, I think we should capture that. That's definitely a blooper story. The other, the guest room, yes, I think we should try to capture something around why he's just really struggling with the guest room. We've never really cracked it. But there is it's not a design thing as much as it is a, I don't need it, but I need it.
Yeah, it is
And
actually.
you go into this cycle of I don't need it to I need it to and you're trying to just accommodate.
There was, certain things which if they are not put in the original concept, you
Yeah.
can never push them in.
So perhaps you should talk about that and write out because it's initially I didn't want it and I was wanting to have a house with absolutely no guest room and I was completely happy with that. And then as and when people kept coming and they would stay, they'd say मेरे को room नहीं दे रहे, इतना बड़ा घर बनाया, मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं है, मैं दरवाजा भी नहीं बंद कर सकती, क्या घर बनाया? And I feel so guilty.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to fulfill because a classic house has no one guest
Guest
which
room,
never
yeah,
is
which
used.
is-
And I wanted to break that. And even they were quite, I think, I don't know whether, I anyway
So
didn't want
if
to.
she told on day one when we were doing the concept that I need this room, this room, this room, this room, which had one guest room also, we would have given it. And we together chose that
Are you
we don't
recording
need
this?
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have the story that if you have already bought a bike, you can't make it into a car. Or if you have already bought a Nano, you can't convert it into a sedan. So it became one of those. We kept
Yeah.
patching flab onto the Nano, and it never became a sedan, even
so
till
the
now.
guest rooms never cracked. Though this one is the best that has happened because people
Functionally,
still,
yes,
Yes.
but your space and aesthetics and all is gone. But we did it in a way that it's removable. Thankfully, it has this floor which is
Yeah.
already with the broken. So
Yeah,
the day
I
we
saw
remove
that.
it, we
Yeah.
patch it, nobody will know.
Yeah, it can
So,
still be brought back
Back
to
to
its
original
if we ever need
and
to,
anytime
I think.
if you ever
So
choose to
that's
be.
one, and the second one I think we've not. Of course, the land, the garden. I don't know what that is, but then I have never. Maybe it's also me. I'm not all that interested. That's also part of it, and so whatever I touch dies. So that's another part. But I mean, actually, I just haven't paid attention. We've never really managed to crack the garden, but I don't think that's to do with any. We tried.
So
thinking
we thought of
landscaping.
within quotes landscapes,
Yeah.
but again those landscapes we were not able to pin what you really want to do.
Yeah.
So you were very clear you don't want a pristine lawn and these decorative
I don't
flowers.
want these manicure,
Correct?
whatever,
Manicure
which I
gardens.
even, but the lady in that corner has done my father says, what a lovely garden.
Garden.
But with such disdain.
It looks like all the lipstick and foundation and
it's clean,
and
mown
all.
grass and
Yeah.
big
Potted plants,
this one and
crotons.
this and fish pond and you can sit around it and I look at it and say, oh God, it's
Yeah, so
another hotel
you
and
didn't.
resort.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
she
No,
didn't
this
want
is not
that.
What I want. This is not home for me.
And but I think she has not been able to pin what she wants.
Yes. Yeah.
But I guess Uncle has had his fun and time.
Everybody, so it's been a great experimenting ground, and I think we should
And he
talk
has
about
grown
that.
a lot. He has grown
Even
a lot of
Trupti
things.
and the others who came
They
here,
have,
they experimented, they played with it. It's seen so many seasons. So I think we should capture that how sometimes, as far as the guest room goes, which is another this one altogether, which is that.
Which is more
it's
of a
not
blooper category, but
yeah.
garden I think is more of. See, somewhere it was. They are also from agrarian society. Yeah, Uncle has grown in a village, grown up in a village, where you just grow things. You don't think of how it looks.
Yeah.
And that's what he has done. So it has also become his anchor. This garden, garden within quotes, the space where he grows things is his anchor. And he's constantly growing things, sharing. Every time I come, he says, you'll take some papali, you'll take some lemons. And that is his connection with people. And even the spaces inside the house, the puja space, all those are the places where his seeds are lying and some chilies are drying and some jackfruit seeds are drying. So somewhere it is a farmhouse, the real farmhouse, not the lipsticky farmhouse, but it is a place where he does his agriculture, which is very food oriented, which is where you pluck and you actually eat. So I think it is serving a very great purpose.
I would think so. So I think somewhere to capture how that so-called rural whatever coexists
with
this so-called
urban.
I think is something worth capturing because one can see it as a problem. Like sometimes I walk into the puja room and say, this is not how it was when my mother was there.
Yeah.
My mother and I sat here and we read books.
Yeah.
And I have these nostalgic stories,
And now it has like twigs and showers and this everything is lying here and there.
I'm like, a part of
But this is
like,
how Gaon is.
But
Village.
for Dad,
that is very natural.
Closest room, which is not much used because I also am not using it ever since Mom went away. I hardly go into that room. I mean, as in I go in to clean it once in a while.
But not sit
not
and
to sit
read
or
or
Mom and I used to sit and chat and all of that. Nothing. So I have actually no right in that sense, which is what I have told myself. I have no right to dictate how the space should be because I'm not even using the space for whatever it is that I may want, except maybe to put up some, drawings and then, try to bring in an aesthetics from my lens. But for both of them, it is an extension of the kitchen and the garden. It's a storage room. just because it wasn't designed as such, can it not become anything else? So I think that is something we should try to capture, Sukriti, which is that some of these changes that happen, your starting intent is X, but then it gets used for Y, which can be frustrating for people who originally created it also. No? I mean, I know that for me, when I think about it, but I'm now okay with it. Because I've started to see it not as a problem, but to see it as an organically evolving basis, the people, basis the need, and the fact that to appreciate the contrast or the beauty of these different lives coexisting without imposing. Of course, I've tried to impose and failed, which is a separate story. But then I see, why did I fail? Because it has a life of its own, and which needs to be respected and allowed for. I think that's the last couple of years I've really transitioned into that. See, it's all right. No? I mean, it's
okay. See, we as designers, we might want to make something and love it, that if it remains pristine all its life. But that's not how it happens, When life takes over, it has its own patches and cobwebs and all that. And we become detached, so we don't feel anything the way it is being used. We are happy however it is used. But yes, if you remember, there was this period when I did feel very strongly.
She'd land up with her fellow to clean.
We did for 4 weeks. We did cleaning up in her house. She started feeling guilty being in Bangalore that she can't do it.
Bangalore.
Till then.
It's a tough house to maintain.
Yeah, it definitely is.
My mom wasn't well. Dad hasn't. Dad, he can't see.
He can't see.
He can't see dirt.
So especially that living area and the kitchen and all, it was such a mess. So we did a lot of cleaning up because we were bringing a lot of our guests. So
they wanted to show off the place.
A little bit more pristine. And then she started feeling so guilty. So she didn't say that please get lost, but she almost said that. So then we took the hint.
After some time I was like, alright, koi to safai kar raha hai. And it's better she does it than me because we would all fight.
We'll start fighting. So anyway, so we did that. I mean, that was not so much for cleaning and show off, it was also to organize. Because the kitchen was very disorganized. And that is why everything was lying outside. And when we started organizing, we bought a lot of organizers. We bought some trays and things and all those things. And I don't know how long Uncle maintained, but for quite some time things came in order. And that really made me feel very good that the way we organize a space which is on the larger scale, if we can assist in organizing the objects in it, and when we bring order to a large space, we feel we bring order to those lives. And if we are doing it on that scale, then that will bring some order to the life. So it was in that spirit that we went ahead and did it.
Maybe the kitchen is the third one to add, because I do believe it's a very critical part. It's in the center of the house. And it's not a usual kitchen. I mean, this one whole thing, which is not what you find in ordinary kitchens, right?
Yeah.
So even my parents' ability to say, अरे मेरा तो एक wall ही नहीं है, ये shelves लगा सकते थे, वही नहीं कर पा रहे, ये तो handicap हो गया. For them it's, I'm looking at it and saying, how wonderful. We can keep these windows open. Then they say, no, we don't want to keep those windows open because insects come and fly in, makhiyan aa jati hain, so we'll keep it closed always. Then this whole thing is like...
Which is on the west, so it was bringing in a lot of heat.
It was bringing in heat. Then there is, because we are cooking right there is oil which is gathering everywhere. And so these are not... these are not the kitchens that we are used to. Our kitchens are what? Standard 4 walls, and then you put your shelves, and then everything is at hand level, and that's at least what they are used to. So this one, just to...
Practically in the beginning it was quite a challenge.
It was quite tough.
But on the other hand, when Uncle did and does most of the cooking, it also became his, again, one of those anchor places, where he's placed and he's linked to all the spaces in the ground floor. He's also linked to Prabha from here. Shout out to her. So, with all its, I would say, handicaps and drawbacks, somewhere it also became that main space.
Yeah.
And I think these guys never wanted a dining table. They were always happy with just this counter which should serve as a dining table.
We did have a table there before. We did have a table there before, if you remember, when my mom was around.
You did?
We had a table there, which
next
was
to it.
becoming this one. But then things would get piled up.
Onto
But
that
if you see
also.
some of the older pictures, my mom was sitting there at the table and she'd keep it clean. There'd be one vase she'd put, and there'd be one flowers she'd put. After she went, none of
there
it
was
happened.
so
It was chaos.
it became more like an informal place where you eat.
Yeah.
So you always sit on the sofa and eat. So it has its own charm. It's a living dining without a dining table.
Yeah. Which once in a while I do think should we not have some way of accommodating a table.
Yeah.
And then I find that people are perching their food on this and that, and he said, chalne do, we go with that. But the fact that it is the center of the house, and a lot of adapting to has actually happened in and around that space.
Yeah.
Like, you remember, actually this is something else, you remember the counter